In this video, I'm going to show you how I did a oxalic acid treatment on my Slovenian beehive. And since this is my first time using this equipment and doing this treatment, I need to perform a test. In my case, I'm going to be treating two chambers, the main brood chamber and a chamber just above it that's for honey, but it's dedicated to the bees, so I'll be treating that as well. So I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of oxalic acid. It's very important that you break it up so you don't have any lumps, or it may not sublimate completely. I'm now connecting the power leads on the heating element to my power supply and starting a timer right now. At about the 3-minute mark, the oxalic acid starts to turn to a gas form. Please note that I'm wearing eye protection, hand protection, and a respirator. This is something you don't want to play with. Here's the setup I'm using. Since I have a power source, a 110 power source very close to where my Slovenian beehive is, I'm using a 12 volt 30 amp power supply. I've also drilled a small hole in my heating unit, and so that I can kind of watch the temperatures. Essentially, I'm just watching it and waiting for it to stop. At about the 5-minute mark, it's fully sublimated, so that's the unit that I'll use inside my hive. To prepare the beehive, I remove all the frames, obviously during an inspection. And as you can see, I've removed the varroa tray. Pretty nasty. It tells me I've got to remove that tray and clean up a little more often. This is a whole year. It's pretty nasty. I made short work of the cleanup. It didn't take but a few minutes, but I've replaced the support rods, and I'm about ready to reinsert the frames. I'm using a long hive tool by AZ Hives North American. It works really well, allows me to reach the depth I need to reach. It also helped me break things apart. So I don't think you can do this without a long hive tool. With my frames back in place and the rear sealed, I remove the entrance reducer on the front of the Slovenian beehive. I load up the oxalic acid vaporizer with a half teaspoon of oxalic acid and proceed to insert it into the opening. I kind of gauge it and make sure it's about midway into the hive. I then plug the entrance with a bunch of old rags. This is just to keep the gas from escaping. Note that the rear of the hive is also sealed with 2 inches of foam. At this point, there is no power applied to the vaporizer, but I'm applying it right now, and I'm setting a 5-minute timer. Wow, those forager bees really want to get back in there. Once the timer goes off at the 5-minute mark, I remove the power from the vaporizer and start another timer for 10 minutes. Once the 10-minute timer goes off, I then remove all the rags and let those poor forager bees get back in. I remove the vaporizer and try to let things settle down a little bit before I replace the reducer. With the landing board levels back to about what they were pre-treatment, I add the reducer, and we're right back where we started. So that's pretty much how I did my treatment. It's my very first time, and if you have any comments, if I did something blatantly incorrect, please let me know. Please be sure to visit my Slovenian Hive website for links to the products that I used and a complete write-up of this project. So, until next time.